Ever feel like you blink and suddenly there's just like a whole new wave of technology? It's reshaping everything.
Oh, absolutely.
It can leave you feeling like you're constantly playing catch up. Doesn't matter if you're running a business or just, trying to stay informed.
It's true. The speed is, well, it's pretty remarkable across different sectors. Innovations popping up all the time.
Well, you've definitely tuned into the right place. Welcome to the deep dive. This is your shortcut to getting a handle on what truly matters. We sift through the noise for you.
Bring you the crucial insights.
Exactly. And today we're plunging into something really vital. Gartner's top 10 strategic technology trends for 2025.
And these aren't just guesses. They're based on some pretty rigorous analysis, market forces, tech advancements. These are areas Gartner sees having a significant impact.
Right. And to make it a bit easier to grasp, these 10 trends, they sort of fall neatly into three main areas. First up, AI imperatives and risks.
Hmm.
This looks at the growing power of AI and, importantly, the need to use it responsibly.
Crucial point.
They will explore the new frontiers of computing. Some really groundbreaking stuff in there.
Definitely pushing boundaries.
And finally, human-machine synergy, which is all about how we interact with technology, how that's evolving.
Yeah, how we work with it.
So our goal today is to really dig into each of these, understand what they mean, why they matter, and get a clear picture of how they might, transform things, business, our lives.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Okay, let's unpack this first category. AI imperatives and risks. First trend on the list, agentic AI. What's the core idea here?
Agentic AI. Okay, so at its heart, it's about software going beyond just processing information. It actually starts making independent decisions to hit specific goals.
So like AI with a bit more autonomy.
Exactly. Think of it as AI acting on its own insights. And the potential here is huge for reshaping workflows, boosting efficiency. Well, imagine software that can manage complex supply chains or dynamically adjust pricing based on the market, or even personalize customer experiences in real time, all with, minimal human oversight.
Wow. So less about us telling the AI every single step
Right.
and
Yeah.
more about setting the objective and letting it figure out the how. That could free up a lot of people for more strategic stuff.
Precisely. But
But yeah, with that kind of independence, how do organizations keep control, make
Mhm.
sure it's aligned?
Mhm.
Which I guess leads right into the second trend, AI governance platforms.
You got it. As these AI systems get deeper into core business processes, you absolutely need oversight. You have to ensure they operate ethically, transparently, and in line with the company's values. It's critical.
Makes sense?
So AI governance platforms, they give you the tools, the frameworks for that oversight. Think of it like a mission control for your AI.
Okay.
You can set policies, monitor how the systems are behaving, ensure compliance. Really, it's about building and keeping trust in AI as you scale it up.
Yeah, you can't just let these autonomous systems run wild without knowing what they're doing or guiding them. Makes perfect sense. And speaking of challenges in the digital world, the third trend is disinformation security. This feels, well, it feels more relevant every single day.
Oh, absolutely. Disinformation security, it's all about the tech and strategies needed to protect against these increasingly sophisticated threats. Fake info, deepfakes, really targeted social
It's
engineering.
getting harder to spot, isn't it?
It really is. This goes way beyond just flagging a fake news article. We're seeing incredibly realistic, manipulated media videos, audio, and the consequences. They can be serious
Yeah.
for people, for businesses, even for, public discourse itself.
Scary stuff. How do we even maintain a shared sense of reality with all that?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a huge challenge.
It really is. Okay, let's shift gears. Second category, new frontiers of computing. The first trend here is post-quantum cryptography. Sounds very sci-fi.
It does have that ring to it, yeah.
Huh.
But it tackles a very real future vulnerability. Our current encryption methods, the ones protecting everything from your online banking to classified government data, well, the immense power of future quantum computers could potentially break them, just render them useless.
Yeah.
So post-quantum cryptography, or PQC, is about developing totally new mathematical ways to encrypt data. Ones designed to withstand those quantum attacks.
So it's like building quantum-proof locks for our data.
Essentially, yes. Future-proofing our digital security. And moving to these new methods, it's a big job. Organizations really need to start planning now to protect data long term.
Okay, so getting ahead of a massive potential security shift. Got it. Next frontier, ambient invisible intelligence. That's a cool name. Intelligence all around us, but unseen.
Exactly. Picture a network of low-cost sensors and connected devices. They're woven seamlessly into our environment, homes, offices, cities, and they're constantly collecting and analyzing data.
Okay, and what do they do with that data?
They use it to make our surroundings more responsive, more efficient, often without us even realizing it or directly interacting with the tech.
Like smart buildings adjusting energy use based on who's actually there? Or uh, traffic systems dynamically changing lights to cut down congestion? The invisible part means these systems just fade into the background, making things better without being intrusive.
Huh. So our environment just gets smarter, more helpful, intuitively. That's fascinating. And the last one in this computing category, energy efficient computing. Seems pretty relevant with all the talk about sustainability.
Oh, it's crucial. Energy-efficient computing, sometimes called green computing, is all about developing tech and practices that slash the energy used by computing. But, and this is key, while maintaining or even increasing performance.
So, doing more with less power?
Exactly. It's driven by environmental responsibility, sure, but also by the very practical need to lower operating costs, especially for things like giant data centers that just consume enormous amounts of power.
Okay. We're seeing innovations in chip design, smarter software, new ways to cool things down, all aimed at making computing more sustainable. And what's interesting is sometimes these efficiency efforts actually lead to unexpected performance boosts too.
Win-win, then. Okay, let's dive into our final category, human-machine synergy. First trend here is hybrid computing. We've mentioned different types of computing, so what's the benefit of mixing them?
Right, so hybrid computing is really a strategic approach. It's about using the strengths of different computing architectures together in one system.
Like what?
Like, say, using traditional CPUs for general tasks, but then GPUs, the graphics processors for the heavy parallel processing needed in AI, and maybe even quantum processors down the line for super complex calculations, all working together.
So it's like having a specialized toolkit,
Exactly.
and the system picks the best tool for each specific part of a job.
You got it. By smartly distributing the work across these different processors, you can get significantly better performance and efficiency for really demanding tasks.
It's a lot of sense. Using the right engine for the job. Okay, next up, spatial computing. This sounds like where the digital and physical worlds really start to merge.
That's the core idea, yeah. Spatial computing covers technologies that create these immersive digital experiences, but they're deeply tied into our physical surroundings.
Augmented reality, virtual reality, that kind of thing.
Those are key examples, yes. Augmented reality, where digital info is overlaid on your view of the real world, and virtual reality, which takes you into completely digital spaces.
And it's moving beyond just games, right?
Oh, definitely. We're seeing really exciting uses in healthcare, like for advanced surgical training or remote diagnosis. And in e-commerce, you mentioned the furniture example earlier.
Right, seeing how a sofa looks in your actual living room before you buy it.
Exactly that. It's all about creating more intuitive, more engaging ways for us to interact with digital information in context.
Yeah, that furniture example really clicks. Okay, now we have polyfunctional robots. We're kind of used to robots doing one specific thing, especially in factories. Polyfunctional sounds like a step up.
It really is. Traditional industrial robots, often designed for one highly specialized, repetitive job, over and over.
Mm.
Polyfunctional robots are engineered to be much more versatile. They can perform a wider range of tasks, and often they can be reprogrammed or even learn new skills.
So more adaptable.
Much more adaptable. This opens up possibilities in lots of areas. Healthcare, maybe assisting with patient care or moving supplies. Logistics, sorting packages, making deliveries. Even in manufacturing settings that change more often, the real value is their flexibility and automating a broader range of tasks.
Interesting. Less like fixed machinery, more like adaptable helpers.
Yeah.
The final trend in this category, and the last of the 10, neurological enhancement. This feels pretty futuristic.
It is definitely a more nascent field. It focuses on technologies that interface directly with the human nervous system. The goal is to enhance cognitive or sensory abilities.
Enhance how?
Well, things like learning, memory, maybe even sensory perception. It's still largely in the R&D phase, research and development. But the potential implications are, well, they're significant.
Sounds like it could be transformative.
Potentially. But it also, quite understandably, brings up a lot of complex ethical questions and societal considerations that we'll need to think through very carefully as the tech develops.
Absolutely. A space to watch, for sure. Okay, so we've gone through all 10 trends. What are the big forces, the underlying drivers making all this happen now?
Gartner points to four key factors, really. First, just the sheer pace of rapid technological advancements we've been talking about. Breakthroughs in AI, quantum computing hardware getting better, IoT devices everywhere. That makes these trends technically possible.
Right. The tech is finally catching up to the ideas.
Second, there are increased data security concerns. Cyber attacks are getting more common, more sophisticated. That's driving the urgency for things like post-quantum cryptography and better defenses against disinformation.
Makes sense. Security is paramount.
Third, there's this relentless demand for efficiency. Businesses always want to streamline processes, cut costs. That's pushing the adoption of things like agentic AI and those polyfunctional robots.
Always looking for that edge.
And finally, number four is a focus on human-centric innovation. Basically, trying to create technology that serves human needs better, enhances our experiences. That's a big driver behind trends like spatial computing and, yes, even neurological enhancement down the road.
Okay, those four factors, tech advancement, security worries, efficiency demands, and human focus, they seem to tie it all together nicely. So let's bring it home. What are the key takeaways here? For business leaders, maybe, but also for anyone just trying to navigate this future.
Yeah, several key lessons really stand out. First, adopt AI thoughtfully. Don't just jump in feet first without understanding the tech and its potential impact. Start small, maybe with pilot projects, and prioritize responsible use. Put those governance frameworks in place early.
So crawl, walk, run with AI.
Pretty much. Second, prioritize data security and think long-term. That quantum computing threat is real, even if it's a few years out. Start looking at post-quantum crypto now to protect sensitive data down the line.
Eat ahead of it.
Third, explore hybrid and spatial computing.
Yeah.
Think about how these could genuinely create better experiences for your customers or streamline your internal operations. That retail example of visualizing products, that's a powerful use case.
Right, find practical applications.
Fourth, focus on human-machine collaboration. The future isn't about robots replacing everyone. It's about people and smart tools working together. So you need to invest in training your workforce to use these tools effectively.
Upskilling becomes key.
Absolutely. And finally, stay informed and monitor emerging trends. This landscape changes so fast. Continuous learning, keeping an eye on what's next, that's essential to spot new opportunities or potential disruptions before they hit you.
Those are really solid, actionable points. It's not just knowing the trends, but thinking strategically about how to engage with them. And we're already seeing some of this in action, aren't we?
Yeah.
These aren't just theoretical anymore.
Oh, definitely not. In healthcare, for example, agentic AI is being used to streamline admin tasks, maybe even help with initial diagnoses. It leads to more efficient patient management, potentially better care.
Okay.
In retail, spatial computing is going beyond just basic product views. Think truly immersive shopping experiences, blending digital info right into the physical store.
Cool.
And in manufacturing, those polyfunctional robots, they're being used for more complex, adaptable tasks now, not just the simple, repetitive stuff. That boosts flexibility and productivity.
It's genuinely exciting to see these ideas become real applications. So as we wrap this up, what's the sort of core message we should take away about these 2025 tech trends?
I think the fundamental message is that these trends aren't just minor tweaks. They represent really significant shifts that will reshape how we live and how business gets done.
So ignoring them isn't really an option if you want to stay relevant.
Not really, no. For organizations, understanding and strategically adopting these technologies, the right ones for them, will be critical to stay competitive, to innovate, to grow. And for individuals, just being aware helps you navigate the changes happening around you.
So it comes down to looking ahead, figuring out which trends actually align with your goals, whether that's personal or professional, and then starting to make a plan, right? How are you going to engage with this?
Precisely. Technology is this incredibly powerful force. Understanding these trends helps you be more intentional about how you use it, how you adapt to it, and maybe even how you help shape its future.
Well, this has been a really, really insightful exploration, definitely given me and hopefully you listening a lot to think about as we look towards 2025.
Glad we could dive into it.
Absolutely. And on that note, here's a final thought for you, the listener. Looking across everything we've discussed today, all 10 trends, which single one do you think has the biggest potential? The one that could fundamentally alter either your own life or maybe society as a whole in the next few years? And what are the big implications we should really start thinking about now? Definitely something to chew on as we all keep navigating this incredibly fast-moving world.